5. Yeah, and live. It's Headbutt Motivation. Fabric of Rbgfest R5, the 5th annual Rbgfest, a journey to the 5th dimension. You had said you wanted to talk.
Yeah, I just wanted to reflect on your points in your video about the same-sex marriages in our community. I feel like as a community and as a collective consciousness, and specifically RBG related in our knit community, I feel as though there are bonds that are being created and they're also getting stronger by the second, which is awesome. And I really feel like we're collectively finding ways to understand how family truly works. So aside from you saying that there's the fad about, I guess, by the white culture of
Madonna babies.
Yeah, of adopting Asian babies or however that goes. I really feel like at the end of the day, a child is still a child, but we should be more focused on creating more of our own, of course, and also never forgetting what we had to go through to even get to this point of our existence, you know? So I just had a couple of solutions in that. Say if a woman is married to a woman, you either see who's going to have the child, or honestly, you can find a male donor, or if y'all have an intimate connection, and you see what I'm saying? Like, there's different ways to create nowadays. And I don't want to make it seem like we have to all live in this box thinking that a man has to only be married to a woman and they have to only have children with that woman, because we're multidimensional at the end of the day. As long as there are clear boundaries on each person, you should know how to carry yourself through this life and understand what you have to do is your duty as a mystical being here. So like I said, I'm gonna just break that down some. If there are two women in a relationship, right, they want to have a child, or they want to have two children at once, you can find a man. You will be intimate with that man if you are interested in doing that, or you can have a donor situation set up where you could both be pregnant at the same time, or whoever wants to have the baby can have the baby, and you can work it out that way. That's one solution that I was thinking of, as far as you can still love who you want to love in that sense, but also don't forget that we still have a job to do here and we can't dismiss those duties. So same thing goes for men to men relationships. An organ donor, not an organ donor, a egg donor. Same thing. If there is a woman that you are close to, in like within your relationship, obviously this has to X out all jealousies. But I feel like we're all evolving past those things at these times, because we really don't have a choice other than to love one another. Like, this is a very important spiritual war that we must win, you know? And the more there are of you, and the more there are of people that care and that want to share unconditional love, that's how we balance the world out. That's how we balance the universe out. And that's also how we win the spiritual war. So
I just want to know if everybody is having everyone's things all together. Oh,
you have this partner or that partner? Can I use your car? Can I borrow your sugar? Is that how that thing is going to work? Or is it going to be, no, this partner is only there for Tuesday and Thursday. Then you get Monday and Wednesday. You know, like I got some like surface things I'm curious about.
Well, yeah. I mean, obviously, that's no. I feel like no one's gonna really know how that's gonna work until you experience it. But that's just a thought that I feel like could work for.
I need somebody cornbread
For same-sex individuals that are in relationships. And yeah, I'm sure that it would work like that. Like, because this is your family you are dealing with. This is your family. This is your family. How would you want your family to treat you, and how would you treat your family? To be as strong as possible, to be as loving as possible, to be as helpful as possible. You know, I really feel like that's a whole new level of healing traumas.
Oh yeah.
Which is needed as well, you know. And I feel like it's doable. I feel like it's very doable.
How much does people who prefer the same sex actually listen to people in attraction of opposite sexes?
You said how much do they listen?
Yeah, how much influence do we even have over what they do with their lives?
Okay. I don't have specific data for that answer, but I can say that if somebody wants to listen and learn and they are trustworthy of someone confiding in them, then I feel like they would listen.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think this is about hetero versus homo. This is nothing to do with that. I feel like we should be listening to each other and taking each other into accountability, especially when it comes to building families and understanding that we are brothers and sisters here. We should all be loving each other and be taking and we should be accountable for one another. We should be.
Yep.
So I feel like the listening part is up to the person to be open enough to listen and not forcing outside agendas that would tarnish their own legacy.
Yeah. I want to get into some what you're reading. You want to go to the want to give us one of these house parties?
Oh, my book.
Yeah, I don't mind. Have you read for some time? What, you want to read for 5 good minutes? Readers or leaders?
That's okay, but I'll just explain what the book is.
Okay, you want to explain this book?
So yeah, it's the Intimate Act of Choreography.
Yes, it is.
I just been recently blessed with this book. And overall, my review of it is how I'm looking at it. It's past dancers, I would say. You can really apply this to your life. How there's a beginning, there's a middle, and there's an end. But the end is really not the end. An end is just an expression of how you transition to the next beginning. So movement is very similar to that. I believe that's how I remember. I think Tracy, she asked if who understood the music or the beat better, a dancer or the producer, and I said the dancer because they are using their body as an instrument to translate what the sounds are in the song. So, and when we're navigating through life, we're using our minds, our hearts, right, to translate how we react to every day. Every day could be 24 hours for you. Every day could be 7 days for you. a whole year could be one day. You know what I mean? So I just really find this book very, very important for my own growth. Just how to move gracefully even when things aren't of grace around you, and even if when they are graceful, to capitalize on that energy. So yeah, it's helping me a lot. It's awesome. Written by Lynn Ann Blom. Yeah. And L. Taryn Chaplin, sorry. The Intimate Act of Choreography.
I'm gonna see if we can get one of our videos loaded finally.
Okay.
This one's on the lower end.
Can you turn it up?
We're up.
Oh.
Oh, boy.
What's up, by the way?
Yeah. Might help. Yeah. I just reduced it a little bit.
So why you wanna fly?
Let's see what we got here. I'll flip it to the front. You know, I gotta line it up. When you flip it to the front, line it up. You gotta not, you know, I'm trying to figure my life out here with this self camera. We're currently listening to an ENHANSOUL performance from the ESO TV House Party Showcase, which was also on the bill. Colleen, Alex, Yui, Exile, and Ills Wills.
You ain't got no one to hold you. You ain't got no one to care. And you're lonely.
As the person comes in.
Nobody wants you anywhere. So why you wanna fly? Like that? You ain't never gonna fly. So why you wanna fly? Like that? You ain't never gonna fly. Yeah! That shit real. I know this twice. This is a comfy pillow.
Yeah. Colleen had some feedback. Colleen had some feedback.
That's one, and then that's two.
Another person's coming on in.
My first show at my crib. Thank you. That joint was whamming.
ESL TV House Party Showcase. I, for one,
welcome everybody.
I know that I get that you wanna I get that you wanna teach online, lady. But gosh, I'm sitting here trying to have an artist behind the scenes discussion about how there was an ineffective balance of Blackbird, not exactly critical theory, but you know, sometimes we select our songs or our productions, and sometimes your song has to just make you jump from one lily pad to the next. It's not about if you're going to get paid. It's not about if you're going to get a certain show, a certain interview, you know, at times, because when you have yourself in a medium of art, what are you doing? Oh, when you have yourself in a medium of art, you create to experience, respond, and react. I also don't want to take anything away from, I think that just looking back at that set in South Philadelphia, I think that was one of the more perfectly executed Blackbird performances, especially in just how variant it was for the crowd at large. It, you know, she really hit those two songs on the nail. She really hit those two songs on the nail there. And under 15 minutes, Rbgfest R5, the 5th annual Rbgfest, A Journey to the Fifth Dimension, will be dealing with a magnetic, fantastic, galactic performer, model, Kurina Akiba. So we want to make sure that you're going to be within that level of, you know, programming to deal with that. And, you know, since we have some extra time on our hands, I'm just going to, you know, look at what some of these TVs really have to offer, because I can recall a time dealing with, what I say, the social media, where one of the popular languages were people spoiling and unspoiling their arrival at shows. So then they became people that were witnessing something in many ways, they were witnessing something, so they'd go, oh, I got a chance to see this today, and this is the way that I feel. And, outside of whatever else they were talking about, they tried to make their post sound as if they were really watching something, First up on the block is Moesha. And I think anything that has the type of light that Moesha has, the type of light that Moesha had, yo, son, they're not going to allow the Africans to sit there and have those kinds of TV programmings anymore. Goodbye, Mr. Cosby. Goodbye, Moesha. Goodbye, Parenthood. Goodbye, Smart Guy. Goodbye, Parkers. Instead, you get loopy underbelly bullshit like Atlanta. Yeah, you gotta make it somewhere. Look at us. All hustlers and status. I need to be geo-engineered as a replication of condition of program subdivision. Got that? You ever talk to somebody on the outside world or look at somebody on the outside world in the general public, and you kind of feel as if I can't help but think that maybe I'm dealing with an identity that was affected by a TV character? You see, because when you can't invoke your individuality, you have to put something onto yourself to make a norm accepted. You got people, and they sell drugs on the corners, but all they are World Star links. That's how that goes. I think in the up and down roller coaster career that Steve Harvey has had, I think Family Feud's a good look for the guy. I think that's a win for the Africans because, Family Feud had a couple Anglo hosts on the show for a while, and Steve Harvey, he's been driving it home. So, yeah, good for him. Oh, and another thing I get sick of as I close this digital TV moment out, I get sick of these fucking biops. Sick of these fucking music biops, that go into the origin of something and then they're like, yeah, man, come on and sing the songs now, Come on and sing the songs with us, Come and watch these moments that were provided by some kind of biographers or publishers, or Lord knows if a music artist movie comes out and it's just the fucking label looking to get its 600,000 from a album that went into the red. The reasons. I'm also going to take the time, since ENHANSOUL didn't want to read. It's called The Intimate Act of Choreography. Finally, a comprehensive book that covers all aspects of choreography, from the most fundamental techniques to highly sophisticated artistic concerns. The Intimate Act of Choreography presents the what and the how of choreography in a workable format that begins with basics, time, space, force, and moves on to the more complex issues faced by the intermediate and advanced choreographer: form, style, abstraction,
compositional structures, and choreographic devices. The format of the book evolved from the idea that improvisation is a good way to learn choreography. This approach is in harmony with widely accepted dance philosophies that value the unique quality of each individual's creativity. After discussing a concept, the authors provide exploratory work, structured improvisations, and choreographic studies that give the student physical experience of that concept. The language is stimulating and innovative, rich visual images that will challenge a choreographer to explore new directions in movement. This book is for serious dance students, professionals who are interested in both the practical and theoretical aspects of the art, dancers who are just starting to choreograph, and teachers who are seeking fresh ideas and approaches to use with young choreographers. The teacher's addendum offers suggestions on how to use the material in the classroom. It is a guide, a text, and an extensive resource of choreographic concepts central to the art form. Lynn Ann Blom and L. Taryn Chaplin are graduates of UCLA's Master Program in Dance. They have extensive experience as teachers, performers, and choreographers. Lynn Blom is an assistant professor of dance at Northwestern University, and Taryn Chaplin is an assistant professor and head of the dance program at Middlebury College. You can have this book by way of the University of Pittsburgh Press. So yes, I also, elected to read in that volume because ENHANSOUL is currently reading right now. This is Rbgfest, R5, the 5th annual Rbgfest, a gateway into the 5th dimension. Program recap. We had ENHANSOUL at 11 a.m. to 11:30 p.m. Then we went into the ENHANAFITNESS lifestyle public access programming, which was about a good and meaningful 90 minutes, I'd say. So we're going to definitely show you guys our next interview coming up. I'm going to go get ready for it.